Good morning. It's Wednesday, July 30th. Here's what we're working on this morning. A tsunami advisory has been issued for most of the BC coast after an earthquake near Russia.
Hamilton police are investigating two separate overnight shootings.
And the Toronto Blue Jays and Baltimore Orioles have a twin bill and a trade. Second last day of July.
No.
This month has flown by.
Very quickly.
July, slow down. Hold on. No, don't go away.
Are you already hearing back to school, lads? I heard one the other day.
It's like,
wow.
Whoa, wait a second now. I know it's not even August yet.
I know. I know. You don't want to hear about that until the very last week of August.
Yeah, exactly. It's not even the CNE yet. Come on. And this is our third long weekend of the summer kind of season coming up. So we're getting there.
But not for us. We're here on Monday.
Yeah, we'll be here. Yay, we're always here on a holiday Monday. But yeah, and it looks beautiful. Oh,
nice.
what a weekend coming up. We just got to get through the soup again today. One more day of the heat warning. It continues today. It's going to break overnight tonight. It will come to an end tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be a lot cooler and a lot more comfortable. But today, we're starting out the day mainly clear skies and 19 degrees right now. We're going to climb to 31 with a humidex of 38. So yeah, heat warning again for the day today. Tonight, we could get a shower or a thunderstorm later on, and that's going to signal the break in the weather pattern. We're going to get chance of showers, thunderstorms tonight, and lingering showers tomorrow. But tomorrow, 23? What a difference tomorrow. That's actually below seasonal. So we'll talk about all of that coming up. Quick look at traffic because, as usual, this time of the morning, nothing happening. 403 Waterdown Road. That's our camera doing fine. Nothing there. MTOs, just a few. Red Hill Creek, Toronto bound away from us toward the Skyway. Here's the base of the Skyway. We'll look at east of Appleby Line. Generally, that's how it is this morning. Not a lot happening. So weather and traffic, of course, we'll check the details coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Thank you, Brian. Developing news this morning. One of the world's strongest earthquakes ever has struck Russia's far east and caused small tsunami waves in the northern Pacific. This is an aerial shot from Russia's eastern peninsula. The area flooded after an 8.8 magnitude quake, forcing residents to flee inland. Waves reached the shores of northern Japan, where people moved to evacuation centers. Tsunami waves have also reached the U.S. West Coast, arriving early this morning along the Washington, Oregon, and California coastlines. Cars jammed highways in Hawaii's capital, with standstill traffic even in areas away from the shoreline. Several people were injured in Russia, and at least one person was injured in Japan.
I think typically for tsunamis, the biggest impact is close to the source. That's where you see the biggest waves most often. That's also where you see the strong shaking. So that's where you expect, the most damage from shaking, and then where you have tsunamis where you don't have a lot of time for warn. I think one thing that's been really good about the story and all the coverage of the tsunami is the fact that people are talking about it, and we know that the tsunami is coming and people can be prepared. And all you have to do is get to higher ground, right, to protect yourself.
The BC government issued a tsunami advisory asking residents to stay off beaches and away from shores. The tsunami also prompted warnings for Hawaii, Alaska, Japan, and other coasts south towards New Zealand.
Hamilton police are investigating two separate shootings that were reported late last night, one of them in Stony Creek, the other in East Hamilton. Tessa Bennett joins us from the one on Hamilton's Kenilworth Avenue. Good morning.
Good morning, Annette. Police say reports of both shootings came within just 2 hours of each other, but at this time they don't believe they're connected in any way. Now, police responded to the first incident shortly after 10:30 last night. Officers were called to a scene near Battlefield Drive and Robb Avenue in Stony Creek after shots were reportedly fired. Police taped off the scene to begin investigating that incident. Then just over an hour later at 11:53 p.m., police dispatched to the area area of Kenilworth and Roxborough Avenues, where I am now, for another report of a shot being fired. Now, police say at this time they don't believe the two incidents are related in any way, though they are investigating. They're also asking anyone with information or video footage of either shooting incident to contact them. These two shootings mark another increase in the number of reports in Hamilton this year, bringing that number of shootings up to 26. Now, we've reached out to Hamilton Police for more information about last night's events, so we'll bring you those details later on. For now, I'm going to send it back inside to you, Rick.
Thank you, Tessa. A rift has developed between developers of the multi-million-dollar makeover of Hamilton's downtown arena and the area's city councillor, who called it a mining operation.
But how is this project going to uplift our downtown? How is everyone going to benefit from this? And right now I'm not hearing that at all. What I'm hearing is we're focused on this arena, we're focused on what's happening inside the arena.
Ward 2 Councillor Cameron Kretsch says he believes neighbours and businesses won't necessarily reap the rewards of the new arena. He raised concerns after a police services board meeting in which a representative for the arena expressed concerns about downtown safety and accessibility. The entertainment group's legal advisor says the councillor's comments were inappropriate.
I do take issue with them. I think whether you're a large business, as are the ones that are making these investments, or a small business, we need to welcome and encourage those investments in our community, especially now given what's going on economically.
The new TD Coliseum is expected to open this fall after $300 million in renovations.
There was a debate last night between some of the many candidates running in an Alberta by-election next month, among them federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre.
Getting a pipeline built from Hardisty over to Prince Rupert or to Kitimat, that is a local issue that requires national leadership. Protecting your right to own a hunting rifle, that is a local issue that requires national leadership. Fixing the prison in Drumheller is a local issue that needs national leadership. I will provide that strong leadership.
Battle River Crowfoot in Alberta is seen as a safe riding for the Conservatives and was vacated by a Conservative MP so that Poilievre could run. During the debate, he attacked the longest ballot committee's efforts to stack the ballot with a large number of candidates as a blatant abuse of democracy. More than 200 candidates are running, and Elections Canada is going to use something called an adapted ballot. Elections Canada says counting those ballots on August 18th is likely to take longer than usual. Prime Minister Mark Carney spoke with his British counterpart about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The Prime Minister's office says the two discussed the need for international cooperation to make sure there is an urgent provision of humanitarian aid to starving civilians in Gaza. This comes after the UK says it will consider recognizing the State of Palestine.
As part of this process towards peace, I can confirm the UK will recognise the State of Palestine by the United Nations General Assembly in September, unless the Israeli government takes substantive steps to end the appalling situation in Gaza, agree to a ceasefire, and commit to a long-term sustainable peace, reviving the prospect of a two-state solution.
There are reports the Canadian government is also considering this move, but it hasn't been confirmed. The Palestinian death toll in Gaza surpassed past 60,000 yesterday, and the world's leading authority on food crises says the worst-case scenario of famine is currently playing out in the territory of over 2 million people. Meantime, Israeli customs data suggests that lethal Canadian arms are still being exported regularly to Israel, despite our government's claim that it has halted those shipments. Rachel Small of the group World Beyond War says Canadian military products are deeply embedded in Israel's military infrastructure. Her group is part of a coalition of Canadian advocates for Palestinians, which released a report based on data published by the Israel Tax Authority. That data shows shipments from Canada that Israeli authorities classified as bullets, guns, and other weapons.
Sportsline, what is happening with the Toronto Blue Jays?
High fly ball to right field from Rutschman. Back to the wall. Lucas jumps. Lucas did not make the catch. Ball's on the ground at his feet. Here comes Gunner. He will score. And the Orioles
Oh boy, Adley Rutschman doubled home the winning run in the bottom of the 8th inning as the Orioles edged the Jays 3-2 in the second game of a day-night doubleheader in Baltimore. Bo Bichette had a chance to put Toronto ahead in the 9th, but struck out for the 3rd time. He went 0 for 5. Now, before Game 2, the Jays traded pitching prospect Jaron Watts-Brown to the Orioles for reliever Sir Anthony Dominguez, who pitched a scoreless 7th inning for Toronto in the nightcap. Baltimore won the opening game yesterday afternoon 16-4. Tyler O'Neill homered for the 4th game in a row. Ramon Urias went deep twice, and the O's tied a major league record with 5 sacrifice flies. Baltimore has outscored Toronto 30-10 in the first 3 games of the series and will go for a series sweep this afternoon. By the way, Jays outfielder George Springer was held out of both games yesterday after he was hit in the shoulder and head by a fastball on Monday night. Manager John Schneider says Springer is doing a little better, but there is no timetable for his return at this point.
A new star in the making. How brightly she shone tonight in Montreal.
Burlington's Victoria Mbako mowed down another top player at the National Bank Open last night, bouncing 23rd seeded American Sophia Kenin 6-2, 6-3 in 80 minutes. The 18-year-old Mbako moves on to round 3 and will play Marie Buskova of Czechia. The long-awaited homecoming for Denis Shapovalov, meantime, didn't go as planned. The Richmond Hill native lost 7-6, 7-5 to American Lerner Tien in Toronto. Maya Joint swept Canadian Leyla Fernandez 6-4, 6-1, and Bianca Andreescu withdrew from her match with a foot injury. The NFL is shaken after a fatal shooting at the league's New York City office left 4 people dead.
Tragic. Our thoughts and prayers are with the people that were affected in that tragedy.
Brian Daboll of the New York Giants was one of a number of head coaches who offered their thoughts and prayers to victims of the shooting. New York City Mayor Eric Adams said the gunman was trying to target NFL headquarters but took the wrong elevator. A police officer, a security guard, an executive at an investment firm, and an employee at a management firm were killed. The shooter died by suicide, and one of the 2 notes left by the gunman mentioned the brain disease CTE and blamed football. A Hamilton native has been nominated for the Sports Illustrated Youth Athlete of the Year. Dylan Early is a member of the Hamilton Sledge Hockey Association. He's been playing the sport for 9 years now. Dylan's father, Alan, was a finalist for the NHL's Willie O'Ree Community Hero Award back in 2024. Alan says his son pushes himself to excel at every game and practice. And you can help Dylan win the award by going to athleteoftheyear.org. ESPN is reporting that Las Vegas will host the draw for the 2026 FIFA World Cup on December 5th. The soccer tournament will be co-hosted by Canada, the United States, and Mexico. And for the first time, it will feature 48 teams. The draw will divide the nations into 12 groups of 4, and some games will be played in Toronto and Vancouver. The 2026 World Cup kicks off June 11th.
Just about 6:13. It's a Wednesday morning, halfway through the week here, and just about all the way through July, 30th of the month already. We'll start with traffic. Okay, let's have a quick check because nothing going on. 403 Waterdown Road looks good, still looks good. No problems right there so far. To some MTO traffic cameras. We'll start in St. Catharines as usual. QEW Welland doing fine. Red Hill Creek really hasn't changed. Here's the south of 2 camera, which is basically North Shore Boulevard. So Toronto bound off the Skyway away from us. Flip into Oakville at Royal Windsor and then all the way through to the 427 Gardner QEW combination. Nothing right there. All right, temperature this morning. We have just fallen 1 degree, so it's a little better. 18 degrees is our temperature right now. The sun has finally come up. We do have the sunshine with us. Winds are light. Relative humidity is right up there at 99%. Yes, the heat warning continues. 1 more day. It'll be gone tomorrow, definitely. We had hoped that it would end overnight last night, but no, today is going to be another hot day. High of 31 and high humidex values once again. Air quality today still in the moderate risk category. And it's not going to be quite as good because we are forecasting more smoke starting to roll into southern Ontario later on today and tonight. So cold front and a low pressure system going by us and a lot of instability, as you can see, pushing its way across southern Ontario. That's the rain, the possible thunderstorms that'll happen this afternoon in a lot of areas tonight as well, could linger, and possible showers for tomorrow before we get back into sunshine for Friday for the weekend to come. So today, 31 degrees temperatures generally right around the horseshoe. Humidex value about 38. Sun will start, then chance of showers and thunderstorms later. Tonight, the sky becomes hazy with that influx of some smoke. Temperatures 17, 18, and 19 degrees. Still chance of a lingering shower or thunderstorm, mostly in the evening. And then tomorrow, chance of a shower. It'll be a hazy sunshine when we see a bit of it. But look at those temperatures tomorrow. Much cooler, 23 to 25 degrees for the day tomorrow. So it's going to end that heat warning. So what we have out the door this morning, mainly sunny, light winds, temperature right now sitting at 18. Long range coming up. Annette, Rick.
All right, thank you, Brian. Coming up after the break, Canadians and Americans closely watching to see if central banks in both countries will keep interest rates as is. Checking the markets, the Canadian dollar is down 5 basis points, trading overseas at 72.55 cents U.S. Gold is up $6.50 an ounce, and crude is down 28 cents, trading just under $69 U.S. a barrel. In midday European trading, markets are down in London and Frankfurt, but up in Paris.
Markets were down today in Tokyo and Hong Kong, up in Shanghai, though. On North American markets at close yesterday, the TSX gained 134 points. The Dow dropped over 200, and the Nasdaq was down by 80.
The Bank of Canada is set to announce its key interest rate decision today. With inflation steady and a tariff deadline quickly approaching, most economists expect the rate to remain at 2.75%, where it has been for the last 2 meetings. The central bank is waiting to see if Canada can secure a trade deal and avoid the 35% U.S. tariffs set to take effect Friday before making many changes. Meantime, the United States Federal Reserve is also expected to hold rates steady today, despite objections from President Donald Trump. He says either the Fed should approve cuts or Chair Jerome Powell should resign. Lower interest rates make it more affordable for Americans to borrow money, but economists say that can cause inflation. Powell says that's already a concern due to tariffs. Trump says he probably won't try to fire Powell, whose term ends in May. Powell, by the way, was appointed by Trump in his first term.
Applications are now open for funding in Ontario to train workers. $260 million is available for innovation projects in healthcare, manufacturing, construction, and the automotive sector, among other skilled trades. Here's the provincial Labour Minister.
We are launching round 6 of the training stream with $260 million investment to protect Ontario workers from the threats of U.S. tariffs, to train them for meaningful, well-paying careers while keeping Ontario competitive in the face of global economic uncertainty.
Premier Doug Ford has pitched even more infrastructure projects as a way to offset the economic downturn created by U.S. President Donald Trump's trade war.
Still with your health, St. Joseph's Hospital in downtown Hamilton has unveiled its newly renovated emergency department.
The diseases are more complex, the management is more specific, the medical advances are happening, and the social circumstances of those patients that come with them to the emergency department are also increasingly complex and of higher need.
The hospital says the $1.5 million project was essential to update the 20-year-old department and address changing needs in the community. New features include an integrated security room, shatterproof glass, and modern healthcare equipment. St. Joe's sees more than 70,000 patients in its emergency departments every year. The renovated space will open on August 6th.
Hudson's Bay is showing strong support for a disputed deal with a billionaire from BC by asking the court to make landlords who don't agree with the deal to let her take over their leases. The collapsed retailer has filed a new motion asking Ontario Superior Court to assign 25 of its leases in Alberta, BC, and Ontario to Ruby Liu. The Bay says Liu should get the leases because the deal will help to repay creditors, revive vacant real estate, and offer jobs to former Bay employees. Liu says her plan would create at least 1,800 new jobs and by 2027 generate more than $420 million in annual sales.
We're going to take a quick break right now. Brian is going to be back with an update on traffic and your 7-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
Time we gave you an update on the traffic watch this morning, just about 6:24 here. It's the QEW and Mountain. That's between St. Catharines and Niagara Falls, and traffic is very light through this area this morning. Even the south end of the Skyway still looks good. Appleby line, Toronto-bound lanes towards us on this camera. As you can see, it's all very light right around the horseshoe on the QEW. Even the 403, 407 split just north of the Ford plant is doing fine. So nothing going on the roads. Take it carefully, please. Hamilton, the cool spot to start the morning here. Everybody else in the 20s. So Hamilton sitting at 18, 21 Mississauga, 22 Grimsby, 23 in Toronto. Skies are very clear this morning. However, later on today and tonight, here's a look at our smoke forecast. As you can see, the thicker smoke is going to start to invade into southern Ontario, coming down at us from the north. So the conditions are going to deteriorate. We are going to get some haze in the forecast for tonight and for the day tomorrow. For today, 30th of July already. Those are our sun times, so the sun is up. Our seasonal temperatures and our records for today. And today, we are expecting some instability. Chance of a shower or a thunderstorm today. 31 will feel like 38, so the heat warning continues. Tonight down to 18. Again, chance of showers and thunderstorms. Tomorrow there is a chance of a shower. Tomorrow will be noticeably cooler, 23. Humidex about 28 still, but it's going to be a hazy sun for the day tomorrow if we get some. And then we get into August on Friday, 25. Look at the weekend coming up. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, sunshine, 26, 27, even 26 degrees for Tuesday. That's your forecast. Annette.
Scientists in Denmark are working to make snake bites a little less deadly.
They are using artificial intelligence to design new antivenoms, which are proteins that neutralize snake venom toxins. Researchers say it's to help the 5.4 million people who are bitten by snakes every year around the world. In early tests on mice, scientists say the proteins delivered 80 to 100% survival. Researchers hope to start clinical trials within 5 years, so that's trials on people, to make treatment more accessible in regions where most poisonous snakes are, including Africa, Asia, and Latin America.
Nice to see North America was not on that list.
Yes.
I would not want this job either. Like testing venomous snakes?
Yes. Wow.
Ew.
Yeah.
No thanks. By the way, we're going to have a snake apparently in studio later on show.
Yes.
Hopefully not a repeat of the Oink Gate.
Yeah, we don't want any bites.
No.
One bite for you in a week is enough.
Stay with us as you bite into your breakfast this morning. More to come after the break. Yes, we don't want any venomous bites.
No.